Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mahwa Sabir Ali, and my course is about project management. And my topic today is what and how I learned from the course. The module one of course one is about the project management roles. The first of all, there are introductory level roles. It includes junior project manager, project administrator, program assistant, project coordinator, and project support specialist. And the traditional roles which needs advanced positions are project manager, leads who leads all phases of the project, from initiating of a project to the closing of the project. Project analyst who supports projects through data analysis, strategy development, and performance tracking. And there is project director who guides decision making and establishes project direction, and the project controller who focuses on project planning, common in engineering and construction. And now this module 2 is about how managers impact organization. Uh, managers can prioritize and delegate and effectively communicate to deliver value to their projects, which include focusing on the customer, building a great team, fostering relationships and communication, managing the project, and also breaking down barriers. Now, I've also learned about how to work with cross-functional teams. Cross-functional teams consist of members with diverse expertise and roles working together towards a common project goal. So it is important to first clarify our goals and ensure that team has individuals with the right skills at the right time, and measure progress and track and communicate milestones, task completions and overall project status के वो कैसा प्रोग्रेस जा रहा है हमारे हमारे प्रोजेक्ट का, इज इट वो माइलस्टोन्स वगैरह अचीव करी या उसको बैरियर्स वगैरह आ रहे हैं. And recognize efforts. Acknowledge contributions from all team members equally regardless of their roles. जिसने भी कोई अच्छी कंट्रीब्यूशन किया है हमें उसको क्या एक्नॉलेज करना चाहिए और उसको कुछ उसके एक्सपर्टीज के बेस पे उसको उस तरह उसको वैल्यू करना चाहिए. And I've also learned about skills for successful project management. So the core skills are enabling decision making, and communicating and escalating. Clear communication of goals, roles, feedback, and expectation is crucial. Escalate issues to management only when necessary, presenting both the problem and potential solutions to demonstrate initiative. जब भी कोई बैरियर वगैरह आता है हमें उसको communicate और escalate करना चाहिए. And strong organizational skills and flexibility. It means adaptability, um, ability to handle ambiguity, stay calm and poised to inspire confidence, show empathy to understand team challenges and provide support. Now I am moving on to the module 3, which is about the phases of project life cycle. There are 4 phases of project life cycle. First of all, initiate, plan, execute and close the project. I will discuss first of all how to initiate the project. In this phase, ask questions to help set the foundation for the project, such as who are the stakeholders, what are the clients and customers goals, what is the purpose and mission of the project, what are the measurable objectives, and what will be the project cost and what are the benefits. And then there is make a plan. In this phase, make a plan to get your project from start to finish. Create a detailed project plan. What are the major milestones, what tasks or deliverables make up each milestone, and uh, manage how you manage the resources, budget, materials and timeline. And third last, this execute the project. In this phase, put all of your hard work from the first 2 phases into action. Monitor your project team as they complete project task कि वो किस तरह काम कर रही है आपके टास्क पे, break down any barriers that would arise, and help keep team aware of the schedule and deliverable expectations कि उनको aware रखना कि एक इस टाइम पे हमें ये काम चाहिए, address weaknesses in your process and adapt to change in the project as they arise. And then lastly there is close the project. In this phase, identify that your team has completed all of the requested outcomes. Release your team so they can support other projects. Take time with your team to celebrate your success. उनको रिफोर्समेंट दें, उनको जिसने ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट किया उसको हमें इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए सबसे, और उनको हमें उनके साथ सक्सेस अपनी शेयर करनी चाहिए. एंड डॉक्यूमेंट द लेसन्स यू लर्न, योर मिस्टेक्स एंड योर इम्प्रूवमेंट्स, एंड रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन वेज टू इम्प्रूव इन द फ्यूचर. And now I will discuss about some common project management methodologies. First of all, there is waterfall. It is a linear traditional methodology where each phase must be completed before moving on to the next, and tasks are assigned by the project manager and quality criteria are defined upfront. And then there is agile. It is a collaborative And iterative approach with frequent testing and ongoing improvements. Teams manage their tasks and some tasks can overlap. It uses principles like Scrum and Kanban. Um, and then there is Scrum. It is an agile framework, as I discussed earlier, that focuses on developing and delivering and sustaining complex projects and projects through collaboration and iterative process. And then there is Kanban. It is a visual tool that to track tasks categorized as to do, in progress and done. एक visual board होता है जो कि सारे टास्क को प्रोग्रेस वो कर रहा होता है, ट्रैक कर रहा होता है कि ये काम हो गया, ये काम प्रोसेस में है या फिर ये काम अभी होने वाला है. And then there is Lean. Lean uses a 5S quality tool to eliminate 8 areas of waste, save money, and improve quality. And then there is Six Sigma. Six Sigma involves reduces variations and ensures consistent quality by following the DMAIC process, which is defined as define, measure, analyze, and improve and control. And then there is Lean Six Sigma. It combines the components of Lean and Six Sigma to save money, improve quality, and solve complex problems. Now I will compare the waterfall and agile approach. In Waterfall, the project manager actively leads by assigning tasks and monitoring progress, but in Agile, the Scrum Master facilitates the process and removes obstacles while the team manages its work on their own. And then there is scope. Scope and deliverables are defined upfront in Waterfall, with changes require formal process, but scope in Agile evolves iteratively and allowing adjustments based on feedback and unforeseen issues. जो scope होता है Waterfall का वो predefined जो होता है बिफोर द प्रोजेक्ट, एंड अगर कुछ चेंज करना होता है वो फॉर्मल प्रोसेस रिक्वायर करती है. बट इन अजाइल जो भी स्कोप होता है वो डिपेंड करता है अनफोर्सिन इश्यूज पे एंड स्टेक होल्डर फीडबैक पे. एंड देन देयर इज ग्रेजुअल. वाटरफॉल follows a linear path through defined phases, initiating, planning, executing, and closing. But in agile, work is divided into short sprints with deliverables planned at the beginning of each sprint. And then there is cost. Costs are kept under control by upfront estimation and ongoing monitoring, but in agile, cost may vary with iterations and unforeseen issues and the feedback. And then there is quality. So quality is criteria defined at the start of the project with the project manager, but quality in agile is driven by continuous stakeholder input and feedback. And then there is communication. The project manager communicates progress to stakeholders in Waterfall, but in Agile, emphasis is on customer-focused communication between the team and stakeholders. वो काफ़ी customer focused होती है, but वहाँ पे सब कुछ जो हो रहा होता है Waterfall में वो सब project manager कर रहा होता है. And lastly, there are stakeholders. Stakeholder engagement is managed by the project manager. But in Agile, stakeholders receive frequent deliverables and progress depends on their feedback. And that is it for course 1. Now I am moving on to course 2. So the course 2 is about project initiation, and it includes key components of project initiation. For example, goals. Define what the project aims to achieve. Scope. Identify and define the work required to complete the project. Deliverable. To outline the project services or outcomes, either tangible and intangible. Determine success criteria for measuring the project success in achieving its goals. For example, if we want to increase customer retention rate at the end of the project, that will be our success criteria. And stakeholders. Identify individuals or groups with an interest in your project or on the project's outcome. Plan and allocate necessary resources including budget, people, materials to ensure smooth project execution, and create a document that consolidates all project details. For example, goals, scope, deliverables, success criteria, and stakeholders. Now I am moving on to the module 2, which is about creating OKRs for your project. The O stands for the objective and the KR stands for key results, and objective defines what needs to be achieved and KR stands for key results. Key results define how you will measure the outcome of your objective. For example, if your objective is to improve customer retention rate, then the key result might be to have a 90% customer satisfaction rate by the end of the project. And that is it for module 2. And also the last point is launching and landing a project. Delivering the final result of your project to the client or user is a project launch, and landing is when you measure the success of your project using the success criteria established as at the outset of the project. And now I will talk about some tracking and communicating success criteria. To ensure a project's success, it is vital to evaluate the quality of the product, meet customer and stakeholder expectations, and document and communicate success effectively in a document. So I will discuss about some key aspects of success. So the first aspect of success is project quality. Project quality depends on attributes like features, completeness, quality, usability, and cost. Metrics to measure project success include measuring the percentage of delivered features and their views. And second is customer and stakeholder needs. It means understand and fulfill stakeholder and customer expectations alongside product metrics such as user engagement and satisfaction. We can measure satisfaction through surveys. And third is documenting and communicating success. Clarify requirements and expectations with stakeholders early on. Align on success criteria through mutual agreement early on and ensuring everyone understand what defines success. कि उनका क्या aim है, milestone है जो success को define करता है. And now I am moving on to the module 3, which is about RACI chart and how to build the RACI chart. RACI chart is a project management tool that clarifies roles and responsibilities within a project by assigning team members to specific categories such as responsible. Responsible stands for who gets the work done. Accountable, who makes sure the work is done, जो उनको supervise कर रहा होता है. Consultant, who gives input or feedback on work कि काम कैसा हुआ. And informed, who needs to know the outcome के काम के बाद जो भी outcome है वो कैसा निकला, अच्छा निकला या poor निकला. And that is how the RACI chart looks like. And by creating a RACI chart, it gives a clear visual of who is responsible for what, and a RACI chart helps prevent confusion and overlapping roles and missed deadlines. वो हमें deadline miss करने से, overlapping roles से हमें काफ़ी वो इन चीज़ों से बचने के लिए काफ़ी help करता है. Now I'm moving on to the module 4, which is about project charter. A project charter clearly defines the project and outlines the necessary details for the project to reach its goals. And it is a good idea to collaborate with your team and stakeholders early and often. Project charters include some combination of the following key information such as our project summary and introduction, goals, objectives, business case, benefits and costs, project team, scope, success criteria. हमारा success criteria क्या है कि हमें customer के retention rate बढ़ाना है या हमने अपना user rate बढ़ाना है. And major requirements एंड बजट एंड स्केजुअल कि हमने किस टाइम पे क्या काम करना है और हमारा माइलस्टोन क्या है, कंस्ट्रेंट्स जो भी हमारी रिस्क और वो हैं, जो भी हमारे बीच में हमारे इश्यूज आए हैं. एंड OKRs, व्हाट इज आवर वी एम टू अचीव एंड अप्रूवल्स बाय द अथॉरिटी. एंड दैट इज इट फॉर कोर्स number 2. Now I am moving on to the module, course number 3. Now the course 3 is about project planning. The planning phase involves three critical components. First of all, there is schedule. It is a timeline for the project, including the start date, end date, and key milestones we aim to achieve. And then there is budget. Establish a total cost of completing the project. Break down cost for specific elements such as 10,000 for web page design, 20,000 for hiring vendors, and 30,000 for construction. And then there is risk management. Identify potential risks that could affect the project and develop plans to mitigate these risks to reduce their impact on the project. And that is it for module 1. Now I am moving on to the module 2. In module 3, I have learned about creating a project plan. A project plan serves as a blueprint outlining the scope, timeline, and activities and milestones necessary to complete a project successfully. It consists of task IDs or names for easily identification and reference, task duration to estimate and prioritize work effectively, start and finish dates to uh, to track our progress that we are going on a right track or not. Are we going to, अगर हम बहुत देर हो रहे हैं या बहुत जल्दी तो नहीं हो रहे. And assigns roles and responsibilities, including task ownership, to promote clarity and accountability among our team members through RIC chart. And now I will discuss about putting all together the pieces of a project plan. So it consists of scope and goals, work breakdown structure, budget and management plans. I will discuss one by one everything. So linking the charter to the project plan ensures that team stays aligned with the objectives and identifies any requests that go beyond the agreed scope. And work breakdown structure, it organizes the project task and milestones hierarchically. And tasks in the project plan should have clear descriptions, assigned owners, and due dates to track progress effectively through the ARAC chart. And now there is budget. So the project budget is closely tied to the project plan because budget is a really important component and must be monitored throughout the project's life cycle. If the budget is managed by the other department, regular check-ins and necessary to stay informed about the financial status. अगर कोई और हमारा बजट वगैरह देख रहा है तो हमें उनको इन्फॉर्म करना चाहिए और उनको रेगुलरली मॉनिटर करना चाहिए. And lastly, there are management plans. So essential plans including the change management plan, risk management plan, and communication plan are crucial for project organization. And the most important part of this module is also realistic time estimate. Time estimation predicts the total duration needed to complete a task. For example, the painting a wall required 30 minutes, but it overall required 24 hours, including the drying time. ड्राइंग टाइम भी मतलब जब पेंट ने खुश्क होना है तो उसको मिला के वी हैव टू take an estimate of 24 hours overall. And it is really important to know the distinction between the the effort of a task and the time of the task need. And unrealistic time estimates often caused by optimism कि हम लोग काफ़ी वो हो जाते हैं हाँ हाँ हम तो कर लेंगे and overconfidence can disturb schedules. To avoid this, involve teammates in providing accurate estimates. हमें टीम से पता चाहिए कि उनको इस टाइम काम करने में कितना टाइम लगेगा. And if को अगर कोई भी emergency वगैरह आ जाती है तो there are buffers are crucial for managing unexpected delays. Task buffers add extra time to the specific task and project buffers are add time at the end of the schedule. It offers flexibility to keep the project on track. Module 3 is about project budgeting, and I will discuss about some best practices to plan your budget. So first of all, review historical data. By review historical data and previous similar work, we can make an estimate how our project हमारे प्रोजेक्ट पे कितना पैसा लगेगा और क्या हमारे कितना पैसा नहीं लगना चाहिए और हमारी पीछे जो मिस्टेक्स हुई थी हम वो ना करें. एंड वी हैव टू कोलैबोरेट विद अदर्स एंड यूटिलाइज योर टीम मेंटर्स और मैनेजर. Seek feedback from your team mentors or manager to double check your work and ensure accuracy. Use phase time budgeting. So it is a technique used to allocate cost to specific tasks over the project timeline. And double check for accuracy. So ensure your budget is error free and easy to understand, as it may require approval from departments like finance or senior management or the head. And I've also learned about how to categorize costs. So there are two types of costs: direct costs, which is essential for project completion, such as wages, materials, and software, travel, training; and indirect costs, overhead expenses necessary for team operations, such as insurance, administrative costs, and general office equipment. So, and I've also learned about how to develop a baseline budget. Create an initial budget estimate and get it proved and use it as a reference to compare against actual performance. अगर हम ऐसा एक baseline budget बना लें और उसका रेफरेंस यूज करें तो ये काफ़ी बेनिफिट होगा फॉर आवर प्रोजेक्ट कि हम किसी ट्रैक के नहीं चल रहे होंगे. And I've also learned about in this module about helpful budget templates, which are budget spreadsheet templates, Microsoft budget template, and Google Sheets budget template. So the module 4 is about risk and risk management. Risk is a potential event which can occur and can impact your project. And risk management is a process of identifying and evaluating potential risk and issues that could impact your project. So there are 5 phases of risk management. I will discuss one by one. First of all, there is identify the risk. The first phase of the risk management, identify and define potential project risk within your team. Identify करते कि आपकी टीम को क्या रिस्क है and analyze the risk. Determine the potential of the risk to the project. अगर के रिस्क ज़्यादा है कि या कम है, मतलब प्रोबेबिलिटी कितनी है रिस्क की. And evaluate the risk. ये देखते हैं कौन सा रिस्क अगर ज़्यादा है तो हमने किस रिस्क को पहले प्रायोरिटाइज करना है. एंड फोर्थ इज ट्रीट द रिस्क. ड्यूरिंग दिस फेज मेक अ प्लान हाउ टू ट्रीट एंड मैनेज ईच रिस्क एंड मॉनिटर एंड कंट्रोल द रिस्क. Assign team members to monitor and track and mitigate risk if the need arises to mitigate the risk. And now I am moving on to the common types of risk. So the common types of risk are budget risk and time risk and the scope risk. So time risk are take longer than expected, it is prettily explained. And budget risk cost might increase due to poor planning or scope. And scope risk, the project might not hit its outline goals and mission and purpose. And now there is single point failure, which is a single critical risk that hold all your progress of your project. These risks must be addressed quickly to prevent a total work stoppage. And dependencies are common in project management. In this, tasks are interconnected, where one task completion relies on the completion of another, and failure to address dependencies can delay the entire project and can halt the project. And there are four ways to mitigate a risk. To first of all, to avoid it, accept it, reduce it, and control it or transfer it. Using one of these four strategies can help you effectively take control of your risk of your project. And now I'm moving on to the module 5. Module 5 is about effective communication and tips for effective communication. So first of all, we have to recognize individual differences and avoid assumptions about others' backgrounds or experience. Be mindful of personal biases. Use neutral and professional language, and respect and encourage diverse perspectives कि हमें हर किसी का perspective लेना चाहिए. And crafting the right message. So, tailor the message to your audience needs and communication style. Be clear about the purpose of your communication and avoid excessive detail. And delivering the message, it means choose the most effective communication methods such as in-person, video, conference, email, considering the time zones and regional differences, and avoid sharing sensitive or private information unnecessarily, and follow up and give feedback. Confirm that your message was understood and intended. Actively seek feedback from them and foster open communication to improve clarity and collaboration. Thank you for understanding this type of communication. And that's it for that course. And now moving on to the course number 4. The fourth course is about project execution, which is the third phase of project life cycle. In this course, I have learned about different tracking methods such as the first of all, there is Gantt charts. Gantt charts are visual tools for tracking schedules, tasks, and dependencies. It is useful for keeping teams on schedule, managing projects with many tasks, milestones, and dependencies, and it is useful for large teams with clearly assigned responsibilities. And secondly, there are roadmaps, which it is a high-level tracking tool for visualizing major milestones and overall project progress. It is useful for tracking larger milestones and providing a snapshot of key project points and showing how a project evolves to teams and stakeholders. And lastly, there are burn-down charts. They are typically used by agile scrum teams for monitoring how quickly tasks are completed relative to remaining work and time. It is useful for projects requiring a detailed review of tasks and ensuring projects finish on time and avoiding scope creep. And then I'm moving on to the project status reports. So the project status reports provides a concise overview of a project's progress, challenges, and next steps for team members and stakeholders. It consists of the project name, its date, and concise summary, uh, often paired with a timeline summary and overall project status, and also the main component is status. So it indicates progress versus plan using the RAG system, where red shows issues requiring resolution, potential delays, or budget overruns, and yellow amber shows potential issues, corrective actions needed, and green shows on track with schedule and budget. And ensure all team members and stakeholders understand the meaning of each color. And there are milestones and tasks. Summarize major milestones and current tasks, highlight key accomplishments and upcoming milestones to visualize progress, and also lastly detail roadblocks and risks affecting progress कि हमें क्या चीज़ affect कर रही है summary में, and use the report to set expectations, outline plans to resolve issues, and request resources and stakeholders for assistance to get back on track. And now I will talk about how to write an escalation email. Escalation is the process of enlisting the help of higher level project leadership or management to remove an obstacle, clarify or reinforce priorities, and validate next steps. So, I will talk about some best practices to write an escalation email. First of all, maintain a friendly tone. Begin with a polite greeting, I hope you're doing well, and use a blameless, professional, and friendly tone when describing the issue, and close the email by expressing gratitude for the recipient's time and support. And state your connection to the project. Briefly introduce yourself, your role, and your relationship to the project. Explain the problem. Clearly state the issue and provide the necessary context for understanding. Explain the consequence. Highlight how the issue is negatively uh, impacting the project or its potential risk in the future. Be specific and concise while maintaining a constructive tone. And propose a course of action and make a request. Um Suggest a solution or course of action to resolve the issue. Clearly articulate and what you need from the recipient moving forward toward the resolution. And write about are you available for a meeting tomorrow to discuss options and come to an agreement on the next steps. Please respond with the times that work best for you. So in that way we keep a friendly tone with the stakeholder. Module 2 is about quality management concepts. First of all, there is quality standard, which means requirements, specifications, or guidelines ensuring projects, processes, or services achieve desired outcomes. And then there is quality planning. It means it establishes relevant quality standards for the project and involves planning procedures to achieve these standards. And then there is quality assurance, which is known as QA. It is a review process to ensure the project is on track to deliver high quality results. And then there is quality control. It monitors project results and delivery to ensure they meet desired standards and focuses on correcting defects after they occur. अगर कोई भी issue हो जाता है बाद में तो ये they focus on correct that issue. And then I'm moving on to the module 3, which is about common data metrics for project management. First of all, there is productivity metrics, which measures team progress and efficiency over time, such as on-time completion rates. And then there is quality metrics, which assesses how well the project meets acceptable outcomes, such as number of changes, issues. अगर कम होंगे तो we maintain our quality. And then there is happiness and satisfaction rate of customers and stakeholders. It measures ease of use, using the project, visual appeal of the project, and likelihood to recommend to another people. And then there is adoption and engagement metrics. It measures how products or services are used, such as frequency of use and time spent on each product. And we can also visualize data through scatter plots, bar graphs, line graphs, and pie charts. And that is it for module 3. And now I'm moving on to the module 4, which is about Module 5 is about principles of effective email writing. First of all, state what you want clearly. Clearly define your request in a subject line and within the first two paragraphs, and include a specific call to action, and use clear sentences and write clear, concise sentences when providing details, and keep the content concise. Remove unnecessary details and write self-standing emails. Ensure the message provides all the needed information without raising further questions, and tailor the length to suit your audience, especially for busy readers. And structure your writing. Use bullet points, labels, and hyperlinks for clarity and easy scanning, and write strong topic sentences to emphasize the main ideas, and check grammar, punctuation. Use tools to catch errors, and ensure your email is polished before sending. And in this module, I've also learned about meeting should be accessible to individuals with visual, hearing, mobility, and neurological disorders. And in this module, I have also learned about common types of project meetings. First of all, there is project uh, kick-off meeting. It means official start of a project, aligning team members, senior management, and stakeholders on goals, plans, and procedures. And then there is status update meetings. These are regular sessions focused on progress, challenges, and next steps within the project. Managers sharing performance reports to ensure everyone is informed about the project status. And then these stakeholder meetings, they aims to secure buy-in and leverage stakeholder expertise, ensuring their contribution align with the project's objectives. Stakeholders से meeting करते हैं कि हमारा ये project इस तरह वगैरह जा रहा है, and to keep them aware of the project objectives. And lastly, there are project review meetings. They are aimed to discuss failure, successes, and possible improvements on the project. And that is it for that module. And now I'm moving on to the module 6, which is about closing a project and project closure report. So the project closure report include the key elements such as executive summary, a brief overview of the project's purpose, process, and highlights. Key accomplishments highlight the team's achievements and the project's overall impact. Lessons learned reflect on what went well and why, and what went wrong and why. And open items list unfinished tasks or potential improvements for future consideration. Next steps outline follow-up projects, ongoing maintenance or future actions, and also outline milestones, provide an overview of key deadlines, milestones, and major setbacks. Also indicate about team and their roles, recognize contributors detailing their roles and involvement, and also provide links to the original project plan, meeting notes, stakeholder feedback, and tracking and reporting documents. And that is it for the course 4. And now I am moving on to the course 5, which is about agile framework and values and principles. Agile is an iterative and flexible approach where work is divided into shorter cycles called iterations. These cycles may be repeated based on feedback, allowing adaptability and openness to change throughout the process. I've also talked about Agile in my course number 1. And Agile consists of four values, for example, individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. And it also consists of 12 principles, which is customer satisfaction, embrace change, frequent delivery, collaboration, motivated teams, effective communication, working solutions as progress, sustainable pace, technical excellence, simplicity, self-organizing teams, and continuous reflection. Now I'm moving on to module 2, which is about Scrum. Scrum is a framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. In this module, I have learned about 5 values of Scrum, which is commitment, courage, focus, and openness and respect, and 3 pillars of Scrum, transparency, key work aspects are visible to everyone involved, कि जो भी हमारा है सारा जो भी प्रोसेस वो ट्रांसपेरेंट होना चाहिए और सबको इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए, सबको पता होना चाहिए. इंस्पेक्शन, रेगुलर चेक्स एंड आर कंडक्टेड टू आइडेंटिफाई एंड एड्रेस वेरिएंसेस इन प्रोग्रेस, रेगुलर मॉनिटरिंग और चेक्स होनी चाहिए. एंड अडॉप्शन, टीम एम्ब्रेस चेंज बाय एडजस्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स और प्रोसेसेस. कि ये सबसे बड़ा एलिमेंट ये है अजाइल का, ये अडाप्टेशन कि ये इनफ्लेक्सिबल नहीं है, फ्लेक्सिबल है और चीज़ों को अडाप्ट करता रहता है चेंजेस को. नाउ आई एम मूविंग ऑन टू मॉड्यूल 3, which is about sprints. Sprint divide large complex projects into smaller and more manageable chunks. It is a fixed length event up to 1 month where ideas are transformed into value. A new sprint starts immediately after the previous one concludes. The key characteristics of sprints include no changes that threaten the sprint goal. Quality standards must not decline. The product backlog must be refined as needed. Scope may be clarified or negotiated with the project owner based on new insights. I have also learned about sprint retrospective in this module, which occurs at the end of each sprint and are critical for inspecting and adapting outcomes, spotting Scrum theory and values. I have also learned about pitfalls to avoid. So avoid too many gimmicks, limit games and exercises, use them occasionally or upon team request, and highlight both successes and failures to learn from strengths and avoid repeating mistakes, and avoid changing processes after each retrospective. Test new processes over several sprints before deciding their effectiveness to avoid instability. And best practices include ask open-ended questions, encourage thoughtful discussions, accommodate diverse communication such as small group discussions or silent reflection, and cover key aspects of the sprint. For example, the productivity and efficiency of the team, the scope and understanding of the definition of done, stakeholder communication, and progress towards more range release plans. And that is it for module number 3. And now I'm moving on to the module 4, which is about roadmaps. There are 5 types of roadmaps: project, product, value, lean, and agile roadmap. I will discuss about some benefits of the product roadmap. It clarifies the sequence of deliverables and aligns links teams' efforts to the project's ultimate goal and demonstrates incredible value by showing stakeholders the value delivered over time and provides stakeholders insight and understand the work involved in achieving the deliverables. I've also learned about some best practices for roadmaps, make the roadmap highly visible, highlight the highest priority and highest value items, share the roadmap with stakeholders to assist their planning and regularly review the roadmap with sponsors, stakeholders and team to ensure it remains relevant and actionable. That is it for the course number 5. Now I'm moving on to the course 6, which is about applying project management in the real world. It is the last course. In this course I have learned about stakeholder management, and stakeholder management involves building and maintaining strong relationships with those who influence your project, ensuring trust, teamwork, and effective communication. So, I will talk about some stakeholder management tips and best practices during project initiation. So, first of all, we have to identify stakeholders early. Engage stakeholders at the start to set expectation, roles, and boundaries. Early involvement fosters a sense of ownership and smoother project progression. And also clarify project vision. It means the project's purpose and what done looks like to avoid scope creep at the end and misalignment. Involve key stakeholders in strategic planning to ensure shared अंडरस्टैंडिंग उनको प्लानिंग में डालना चाहिए ताकि उनको अपना प्रोजेक्ट का विजन बताना चाहिए ताकि बाद में कोई मिसअलाइनमेंट या कोई इशू ना आ जाए. एंड आल्सो प्रोवाइड यूजर फ्रेंडली रिसोर्सेज. यूज टूल्स लाइक वन पेजर्स और वीकली स्टेटस रिपोर्ट टू कीप स्टेक होल्डर्स अपडेटेड. उनको हमें अपने प्रोजेक्ट चार्टर या RSC या ई चार्ट से वगैरह लिंक रखना चाहिए ताकि वो अपडेट रह सकें कि प्रोजेक्ट में क्या हो रहा है, क्योंकि वो अपना इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं टाइम एंड मनी इन आवर प्रोजेक्ट. एंड some management tips throughout the project life cycle includes understand stakeholder interest, ask about their priorities, goals and desired roles to align their interest with project objectives. उनसे सबसे पहले पूछना चाहिए कि आप लोग चाहते क्या, what are your interests, what do you guys need. And tailor communication, adjust the frequency and style of updates based on stakeholder preferences. मतलब जो भी उनके जो इंटरेस्ट है उस हिसाब से हमें एडजस्ट करना चाहिए अपनी अपडेट्स वगैरह. एंड सीक इनपुट एंड असिस्टेंस. engage stakeholders in problem solving and decision making. जैसे कि पहले बात की थी, जब भी कोई रिस्क वगैरह आ जाए we have to communicate with stakeholders and leverage senior stakeholders for advice and to identify other relevant contributors. और हम उनसे और भी contributors वगैरह ले सकते हैं by through communication. And now I am moving on to module 2, which is about tips for defining project tasks. First of all, write concise descriptions. Keep task descriptions to 1 or 2 sentences. If more detail is required, consider breaking the task into smaller and simpler components. Consider task dependencies. अगर कोई task किसी और task से related है, अगर किसी ने पहले होना है तो we have to do the task जो कि उससे पहले interconnected है, फिर हमने दूसरा task शुरू करना चाहिए. And involve the team. Enlist help from team members. Discuss major goals or tasks with team members to get input and refine task breakdowns. And estimate time requirements. It means define tasks based on their expected completion time. So हमें बताना चाहिए कि ये टास्क कितना टाइम लेगा और ये टास्क कितना टाइम लेगा ताकि कोई इन पे आके मिसअलाइनमेंट ना हो. एंड डिफाइन डन फैक्टर्स. हमें देखना चाहिए कि बिफोर द एंड हमारे सारे टास्क कंप्लीट हो गए एंड कोई स्टेप मिस तो नहीं रह गया. And now I am moving on to the module 3, which is about evaluation questions. Evaluation is a research process aimed at promoting learning, informed decision making, and accountability. It involves asking key questions about the outcomes, impact, and effectiveness of a project. जैसे कि हमने प्रोजेक्ट हमने रिलीज कर दिया, हमने उसके इफेक्टिवनेस वगैरह पूछना है, हम इसको उनके साथ एक evaluation सर्वे कर सकते हैं पब्लिक के साथ या स्टेक होल्डर्स के साथ. So I will discuss some tips for effective evaluation presentations. Tailor communication to the stakeholders' preferences and understanding. कि वो उनकी क्या understanding है stakeholders की और उनके क्या interest है. Start with an engaging hook like an icebreaker joke to become more professional. And use visuals throughout the presentation to maintain an interest and engagement. जब भी हम कोई presentation में visuals वगैरह use करते हैं तो audience काफ़ी attract होती है इस चीज़ से. That is it for module 3. Now I am moving on to the module 4, which is about. So the module 4 is about the project glossary report, which I've also discussed earlier. It summarizes the project's goals, success metrics, deliverables, feedback, lessons learned, and future steps, serving as a reference for future projects. Additionally, it also highlights the project impact report, which analyzes results to improve services, motivate stakeholders, build trust, and share lessons learned with other organizations. It is an executive summary for highlighting key project elements for stakeholders and other organizations. So, and that is it. And I've also learned about how to give interview remotely and big interview in this module, and role of AI in project management, and I really like the whole course. And that is it, and thank you very much for your time and support.